Betrayal, the earthquake that shakes your soul. When someone you trust deeply, someone close to you, betrays your trust, it feels as if the very foundation of your life and your faith in humanity collapses. It is an emotional earthquake that leaves you vulnerable, confused, and heartbroken. Someone you considered an ally, a friend, or even a family member becomes the source of your pain. In that moment, illusions are shattered. Everything you believed in about loyalty, trust, and friendship is called into question, and answers are not easy to come by. A breach of trust is irreplaceable. Betrayal strikes at the core of our being because it tears apart the very foundation of trust, which is the foundation of any close relationship. Trust takes time to build, but one act of disloyalty can destroy it in the blink of an eye. The breach can seem irreparable, leaving you feeling betrayed, hurt, and isolated. Anger, resentment, and frustration flood your emotions. It's like you're trapped in your own emotions, unsure of how to escape the pain. Now you're faced with an important decision. What should you do when someone close to you betrays you? Your first instinct is to get angry, perhaps even seek revenge. After all, revenge can provide temporary relief and escape from the sharp pain you feel. But before you react hastily, consider the long-term consequences. Revenge often makes things worse and can lead to more harm, especially if you value your principles, ethics, and integrity. Take time to reflect. Instead of getting angry, it's important to take the time and space to reflect on what happened. Emotional wounds take time to heal, and clarity often comes with distance. Ask yourself some important questions. Why did this betrayal happen? Was it a misunderstanding, a failure to communicate, or were there deeper personal issues at play? Understanding the reasons behind the betrayal does not excuse the betrayer's actions, but it can help you evaluate whether the relationship is worth saving or whether it should continue. The challenge of forgiveness. Forgiveness is often the most difficult, but also the most important part of healing from betrayal. Forgiving someone does not mean forgetting or justifying their actions. Instead, forgiveness is a deeply personal act that allows you to release the burden of pain, sadness, and resentment that the betrayal has placed on your soul. It's about taking back control of your emotions and allowing yourself to move forward with peace. But what if forgiveness seems impossible? Some betrayals cut so deep that the wound doesn't heal easily. It's normal to feel like you're not ready to forgive. Sometimes the hurt is too severe to heal quickly. In those cases, the most important thing is to protect yourself emotionally and physically. Make sure you're safe from further harm and recognize when it's best to distance yourself from the betrayer, even if it means cutting the relationship off completely. Why is betrayal so painful? Why is betrayal by someone close to you so painful? Because when we trust someone, we share parts of ourselves with them that we don't reveal to everyone else. We confide in them our dreams, our fears, our hopes, and our weaknesses. This creates a deep, sacred bond. When that bond is broken, it feels like a direct attack on our very being. The world suddenly becomes less safe, and the idea of trusting anyone again seems almost impossible. As the philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau once said, betrayal teaches us lessons that neither books nor teachers can provide. It is an experience that shapes not only our character, but also our understanding of human nature. It teaches us about the fragility of trust and the complexity of relationships, forcing us to face difficult truths about ourselves and others. Overcoming the pain of betrayal. What steps should you take when you have been betrayed? The first step is to allow yourself to feel. Don't try to suppress or deny the pain, anger, or sadness that comes with betrayal. These emotions are natural, and you have every right to grieve. Betrayal is a real loss, a loss of trust, a loss of a relationship you once knew, and sometimes even a loss of a part of yourself. Once you've allowed yourself to feel, the next step is self-reflection. Try to understand what may have contributed to the situation. This isn't about excusing the betrayer's actions, but about and find clarity. Understanding the reasons behind betrayal can help you move toward acceptance and even resolution. The school of life. Betrayal, while painful, can also be a profound teacher. As F once said, betrayal by loved ones is a school of life. It teaches us to be more cautious, wiser, and more discerning in our relationships. It helps us recognize the signs of loyalty and disloyalty in others and makes us stronger in the face of adversity. But perhaps the most valuable lesson betrayal offers is that it forces us to rely on ourselves. It teaches us to cultivate self-esteem and emotional resilience, qualities that are invaluable as we navigate through life. A betrayal, no matter how painful, should not define your life or your worldview. Remember that there are many wonderful people in the world who are capable of giving you true love and friendship. Don't let the betrayal of one person close your heart to future relationships. Healing takes time, but with each passing day, you will become stronger and wiser. Each day will bring new opportunities to build relationships based on mutual respect and trust, the parable of the cracked pot. Let's end with a story that carries a profound lesson. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived an old woman named Anna. She was known for her wisdom, and her house was where the villagers came for advice and comfort. One day, a young man named Ivan came to her for guidance. Ivan had been betrayed by his best friend, Peter, who stole all his money and disappeared. Ivan was bankrupt, devastated, and disillusioned. Anna listened silently to his story. Then she picked up 2 clay pots, one new and beautiful, while the other was old and cracked. Anna began pouring water into both pots. Ivan asked, "What does this mean?" Anna smiled and replied, "Look at these pots. They both hold water, but something interesting happened when I poured water into the cracked pot. Sure enough, water began to seep through the cracks in the old pot and drip onto the ground. But around the pot, colorful flowers began to bloom." Anna explained, "The betrayal you experienced is like the cracks in this pot. It was painful and unpleasant, but despite the cracks, you were able to retain your value and strength. And like the flowers blooming around this pot, your pain can lead to beauty and growth if you let it." Ivan thinks deeply about her words and realizes that while Peter's betrayal hurt him, it doesn't have to define him. He can use this painful experience to grow, become wiser, and develop new strengths, just as the cracked vase nurtured beautiful flowers blooming through the cracks. Betrayals leave cracks in our hearts, but those cracks can also be a source of growth, wisdom, and beauty. Like Ivan in this story, we can choose to rise above betrayal, learn from it, and let it make us stronger. One person's betrayal doesn't define your worth or your future. You have the power to bloom again, despite the cracks. As the great Oscar Wilde once said, "We are all in the same boat, in a stormy sea, and we owe each other a terrible loyalty. While betrayal can shake your faith in others, it is important to remember that loyalty, love, and trust are still possible. By nurturing yourself, reflecting on your experiences, and choosing to forgive or at least let go, you can reclaim your happiness, hope, and strength. You are unique. You deserve love, happiness, and fulfilling relationships built on trust and mutual respect. Even after betrayal, there is still a path forward, a path that leads to healing, growth, and ultimately a better understanding of yourself and those around you." Thank you everyone for watching the video. If you find it interesting, please comment below the article.